Okay, welcome to Basement News Broadcast.
So
Today's
you know, it's
episode.
uh, it's not that the creepy kind of basement
No, it's
news.
not. Today's
Uh,
episode. We're talking about the Russian invasion, the Freedom Convoys, and upcoming games and current status of
that almost
PS5, Switch,
sounds.
and Xbox
I'm
games.
sorry, but honestly, that sounds like something out of Red Alert. What you just said, everything you just said.
So, welcome to Basement News Broadcast. I'm Trevor,
Uh, Austin,
And Ben,
and welcome to our first ever
Casper.
Basement News Broadcast in a long ass time.
Yeah, it's because I wanted to bring this back.
I've been wanting to bring it back. We just haven't really had a chance. But
We've
first
just been
topic
busy.
today: the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Russia, President Vladimir Putin has ordered his troops into Ukraine in an attack on Ukraine's sovereignty. Let's start with you,
Basic what
Ben.
we
What do you think?
basically what happened.
and apparently I predicted that they're probably gonna do those camps, like concentration camps.
They
Yes.
were
Like,
blow up their camps.
yeah. And apparently I was right,
Yeah,
but I don't
Putin
know.
does have a list of
Yeah.
Ukrainians he
So
does want to put into camps, which is really, really
yeah,
bad.
yeah. And I'm Jewish, so I have rights to actually be offended by that.
Yes, you do. So, Austin, what do you think?
I think it's because he wants to target certain individuals that threaten him, like a certain other person did way back when in World War II. And basically made the list. They're going to slowly disappear, and then that's going to throw everybody into chaos, and then he's going to make his move.
You think this could be end up with China taking advantage of this for China
Yeah,
to invade Taiwan?
yeah. It also what it tells me is neither of them are confident they can do it without interference from the other, or without because that just tells me that they know they can't do it do either one by themselves. However, this whole thing backfired because now um, all our European allies and our other allies are all ready to go in case stuff happens, and now it's going to be even harder for him now.
Yeah, I think what President Biden has done, he went ahead and put some sanctions on Russia, which I don't think are enough, to be honest.
Honestly, it's better than nothing. He did at the same time. He didn't provoke him at the same time, which I agree. If you can resolve this peacefully as possible, the better.
Dude, it's not going to be peaceful. There's already been lots of bloodshed, apparently.
Yeah, well, more isn't what you want. So
We need what Putin needs to do, if you ask me, is to pull back his troops and
it's not happening.
yeah. So I'm
Oh
just
yeah. Well,
this is
forget that. The Olympics were a complete joke
That's
this time.
true. The Olympics were a complete joke this time around. Apparently
I
the
don't.
athletes had some stuff like were like had like leaky roofs and stuff, and
China cheating,
yes, China cheating, Russia cheating.
and I think it's high time we had a zombie invasion. That would solve all of this.
Zombie invasion. So moving on
Instead of
to our second
oh,
topic
oh
today, the Freedom
I had
Convoys.
I had a joke about that. Instead
Go
of
ahead,
World
man.
War III, it'd be World War Z.
Yeah,
World War
or
Z.
C, or sorry, World War C or World War C
Okay,
19.
back to the Russian
Yeah.
topic. Final thing, do you guys think this could be the spark that starts World War III?
No,
No, I don't think it's big enough.
no one's
That
no one's that dumb. Mostly,
yeah.
because keep in mind, anybody ever hear the saying, an armed society is a polite society?
Yes.
Well, that
Yeah.
applies to the nuclear arms. To nuclear arms, the first person to launch that is going to be the first person wiped off the planet.
Okay, now time for we're out of time for that segment. Welcome to our second segment. We're talking about the Freedom Convoys now.
Woohoo!
As the
We're
Blues
going to
just scored.
Vegas. That means they're going to Vegas. They're
Yes,
free.
well, as if you guys probably don't know, for the last 3 years or so, not 3 years, but 3 weeks or so, um, truckers have taken over the Canadian capital of Ottawa.
And also, before we get into that, you know what country actually started threatening this before either one of us had that idea was Australia.
Australia, yes,
If you remember, they were going to do it. And also, if you want to see what happens when we give up our Second Amendment, take a good look at Australia.
yes. Well, you can
That's
see,
exactly what'll happen.
but the Freedom Convoy started over in Vancouver, and made its way over to Ottawa, and basically took over Parliament Hill in Ottawa there.
Yep. Do I think the idea was alright, but their methods is a little aggressive. I would have toned it back a little bit. Just saying,
Yeah, but now we're
because
going to
that
have
was
another
making.
Oh, you continue, Austin?
I was gonna say I would not have went to that extreme. What I would have said is all the truckers stand up and start protesting, not taking over shit. Because honestly, there's two different messages you could have gotten out of that. I mean,
Yes.
because honestly, doesn't look any better than what happened in Seattle or January 6th. So
Yeah. Well,
I'm
what
just
happened?
saying.
I know, but what's going on now is that there's going to be a copycat convoy going from like Los Angeles over to DC.
I mean, honestly,
That's going to be coming right through us here in St. Louis. So
I just hope there's no more dumbasses like that one kid up in. I'm really not gonna name names, but I think we all know who I'm talking about. Dude
yes,
just says, I mean, I'm sorry, but yes, the kid was he innocent? Sure, maybe, but was he dumb? Hell yes. You're not gonna take something like a gun like that for self-protection. No, no, no. You're taking it up there, looking for a fight, and he's a teenager. They're as gung ho as you get at that age. You don't think he had it in his mind? He was kind of hoping for a fight. Oh, believe me, he was. I mean, I mean, I was that type that I was always looking for a fight. So when I was a kid, so
okay.
no
Let's
one can
let
tell me he was going to
Austin.
be
Let's
peaceful
let
about
Ben
that.
get a word in here on the Freedom Convoy
All
before
right.
we move on to let you take over for the third and final segment.
Okay.
Ben,
Freedom.
Ben, you there?
Yep.
So, what do you
And
think about what are your thoughts on the Freedom Convoy, if you have any?
I don't have any comments on that.
he's
Okay,
like,
Austin, the floor is yours to talk about our third and final segment.
okay. So as we all know, the biggest news obviously was someone one was Xbox Spot Slack Division, and yes, I said Slack Division. Um, and PlayStation bought Bungie. So there was like, so is Call of Duty gonna be a premium and all that? Like, do you think that the highest earning game in the world, they're just gonna come up and pull it back and make it for export on Xbox only? Like, do you know how much money that would cheat them out of?
A lot of
Like,
money. That would
like a
actually,
lot.
but it'd be
Second,
very stupid to make anything Bethesda or like Activision. Those games are so big, it'd be very stupid to make them console exclusives to Xbox. It'd be so stupid, you'd lose a
also,
ton of
also,
money.
also, there's a reason PlayStation. I mean, look at PlayStation. The older exclusives, they're releasing them on the PC, and it's not hard to understand why. Like,
Because having them on multiple platforms gives the company more money and more chances.
yes, but you're not gonna but you're not just gonna release the new shit. Oh no. But also, there's the contract, the multi-console contract that's been there for God
Yeah, a
knows when.
decade at
And
this point.
if anybody breaks that, that's gonna be one hell of a lawsuit. That's gonna make what happened look, yeah, and then that's just gonna ruin A, reputation, and B, a large a large chunk of cash down the drain. So
So, also, if I
for
say something real quick, let's look at this. Okay, Sony is doing this. Okay, Nintendo is over there doing their own thing with their exclusives. Okay, Sony's actually putting their exclusive on Xbox. Look at stuff like MLB The Show,
they're
God of
they're they're not throwing it. Well, they're throwing it on PC, but yeah, same
like
idea. But
Sony's throwing their games on other platforms. Like MLB The Show came to Xbox and is coming to Switch. God of War's gone to PC. It's like,
even bigger news. I think this is kind of funny. Take this how you will, but apparently Konami is making games again. Yes, I know.
ooh,
It seems like Konami just dropped off the map. Um, and I think y'all know what happened. It's not hard to figure out what happened with Kojima. Anyway, and I'm just like, okay, so so you're doing that, but what happened to the Silent Hills you promised 2 years ago?
we're never getting that, Austin.
No, we're not. And they're just like, we're coming the real, they're coming. I mean, they couldn't even get their Yu-Gi-Oh straight. That was the only thing keeping them alive. Like, let's just be honest, and that's gone down the drain recently. So they're like, okay, yeah, maybe we should actually make something that we know how to make instead of trying to compete with Magic the Gathering or something. And I mean,
Okay,
come on. As popular as Yu-Gi-Oh is, I'm sorry, but Magic the Gathering just dominates still that scene, and I
okay.
think it always will. It's like
Well,
comparing Pokemon to anything else like that. It's
well,
just
if you
going to
look at
dominate.
Nintendo just released Pokemon Legends Arceus, which is actually
It
probably one
did.
of the hardest Pokemon games ever made.
Although I still expect more, though, out of Nintendo. They want to compete with what's happening right now,
And
because
then,
right now both Sony and Xbox they're not playing games.
I
As
know,
you can see, they're gutting. They just bought the two top profit making AAA studios in the world. First off, when people say something about Bungie, like let me remind you what happens when Bungie actually tries. Let me remind you. Do I need to remind you who made Xbox, and if given the chance, who can break it?
yes. One thing
And
I gotta say is that with
also,
Bungie, is that
Bungie already has an IP in the works for Sony.
Austin. Let's
So
let Ben get some few words in here.
I really don't know what to say, honestly. I'm just listening.
yeah,
Okay.
the
Ben's the
only thing
quiet
I
one of the
give a
group. That's what it's always
the,
been like. So,
the only thing I give a fuck about when it comes to Activision is if they can make a new StarCraft. But it's got to be good. It can't be some bullshit thing like they did with Warcraft.
yeah. One thing I gotta say, Nintendo is putting some stuff out there that could help with their balancing issues. We know
One
Breath of
thing
the
they do
Wild's
need to
coming out
upgrade
too.
though,
They did release.
I,
They are releasing the new Mario Strikers, the first ever 3D Kirby, and Wii Sports for Nintendo Switch.
the thing though I see that Nintendo definitely needs though, before anything else though, is a graphics update. I
Okay,
think we
final words
all
from
can
each
agree
of
with
you.
that one. Hey, Trevor, I think you can agree with that too. It needs a
Yes.
graphics overhaul badly.
Okay, final words from you, Austin.
Uh, I think from what I've played, I think I'm about like 40% through the main story of Horizon Zero Dawn Forbidden West. Dude, I'm sorry, but I think this is probably gonna get Game of the Year. Unless Elden Ring comes out with something hard as shit. Like this is the first game on steroids.
We'll see how the year progresses. Okay, Ben, final thoughts from you.
Well, I think in 2022, like in around summer and
Aliens.
spring, there's going to be a lot more killer games and a lot more
I agree.
cooler Marvel movies to watch, and
And
Yes.
also,
possibly, and
Batman's
poss- but,
DC is
but possibly newer type of Marvel TV shows that may not have been told. There might actually be some, but are not made public, and that's one of my
I mean,
theories. Because
also let's remind everybody who is going to benefit the most out of this big ass console war.
It's
Everybody.
that's my theory
Yeah.
because they already got a few Marvel and I think
Oh
DC TV
yeah.
shows like the Flash,
Uh,
Arrow, and like
I
things like
think
that. But they They might actually have some TV
I
shows
think
coming
the
out
biggest
that they
surprise
haven't said
actually.
yet.
I think for me the biggest surprise with Hero Wise is that they're bringing back Iron Man, but it's a different he's from a different universe.
Yeah, is it going to be
And
Tony
Superior.
Stark?
I'm really
Is
curious.
Robert Downey
Superior.
Jr.
Also,
returning?
plus people are actually predicting
Uh,
that the Multiverse of Madness. A lot of people claim that they think that's where they're gonna merge X-Men
Hey,
into the
Austin,
MCU.
you're thinking of Superior Iron Man that actually in the comics is the evil version of
Yeah,
Iron
I
Man.
know, but still, it's still
Oh,
the
they also.
multiverse.
I thought it was cool that they brought up the zombie universe for the Marvels.
They
And
did. I
and
actually thought that was
yeah,
cool.
and what's that guy's name? The sorcerer. It's just,
Doctor
Oh,
Strange?
Doctor
Doctor
Strange.
Strange.
Yeah,
Yeah, his version of the zombie actually is gonna do some dark magic.
yeah, I know.
Ooh,
I thought that.
dark
Yeah,
magic!
Yeah, I'm looking
yeah, but
forward to see how that
except
works.
it's not gonna go rated R though, unfortunately.
No,
But
No,
also,
they won't do that. They won't do that,
moving
but
off of them, DC seems to hopefully get their act together.
yeah.
Actually,
okay.
also, can we remind people? Yeah, Robert Pattinson was in Twilight, but
Guys,
can we
we are out
remind
of time.
people that can we remind people that was like what 15 years ago?
Guys, we are out of time. I am sorry,
All
final
right,
word.
I'll give my final word.
Okay,
All right,
well, that's going to be it for this episode of Basement News Broadcast. And here we
we'll
are.
do it. Why we do a weekly of thing of
Yes,
that?
I was thinking we're going to bring this back weekly, both on
Because there's
camera
more
and
I
off
want to
camera.
say. I want to do a continuation of this, but I want to talk about the movies because
Yes,
obviously you have
maybe
a lot to
next
say
week,
about that.
Austin.
Okay.
But until next
Uh,
time,
Stay
Stay
frosty,
stay
frosty.
frosty. Ice Mask Gang
especially
out.
especially with Russia